Hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Josh and Ollie show. How you going, Ollie?
I'm good. I'm good.
What do you think of the results from the last podcast? We went pretty well, eh?
300 and something views for a first shot isn't bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm actually shocked, to be honest. I didn't think that many people would want to sit and listen to us talk smack for a whole 40 minutes.
I think once we got the 100 followers on Instagram on our Instagram page, and then had other people follow from Facebook and whatever, I think the views just kind of started piling up. But they just kind of always on a constant rise, and then we got it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well, thanks to help from one of my mates, Charles Patterson, which was lovely.
Yeah, shout out to you, Charles. You're an absolute legend. Ollie and I, we were pretty useless with that stuff. We got to say,
Oh,
it was
we're
very very
terrible.
hard to get the podcast onto Spotify and Apple Music. So yeah, shout out to Charles for that. That was
It was
very
hard
helpful.
enough just to like try and do a background for me on Photoshop, like let alone trying to get all
Oh,
these links and things that you need to upload and whatever. I was like, oh yeah, oh
oh,
well, we
dude, I'm
made it.
gonna
We
be
got it done with
completely
help.
honest. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was starting to get frustrated because it was just like some of the simple things you were asking to like how to even drag a photo in, and it was just like,
I was
oh
like
my
proper
god, it
struggling.
can't be
Like I
that
couldn't,
hard.
I could not do a thing. Like I was honestly so lost. Like it was terrible. I was just like, I can't drag a photo. And then when I get the photo in there, I couldn't make it as a layer. And oh boy, I swear, I was I was way out of my depth trying to make a freaking background for us.
Anyway, moving on. I hope the image you're looking at right now, guys, is the one I've created with my pure talent on Photoshop, whatever it's called. And yeah, but first question for you: what do you think about the restrictions being eased?
I think it's good. I think it all will take time eventually. Um, Once we do one thing, it will just kind of lead to another, and then probably by, you know, October, we would almost be completely clear whether or not they open up the borders and international travel and whatever again, or how quickly they do that is another question. But I think Um, the New South Wales Premier has been releasing all her like roadmaps to freedom and everything else. But I head back to school next week, but there's only going to be 2 or 3 year groups there out of the six, so it'll be interesting.
Oh, you're next week. What's the date? It's the 9th. So I head back on the 18th. I think on the 18th. But
We're
my school's not really good with that kind of stuff. They haven't really told me clearly.
we're back full time from Monday, like till week. We only have 8 weeks or 9 weeks or something this term, so it's a bit of a shorter term. But we're still at
Yeah.
school then for like 6 weeks, which isn't too bad when you think about it. But just hoping maybe a second wave of Corona doesn't hit us and we won't have to continue online school.
Yeah, 100%. Are you excited to go back or no?
Oh, so hate online school. Like, even
Yeah.
just going to back to school, like, just purely for the routine of it. Like, because, you get up in the morning, you do your shower, and, get ready for school, and then have your classes all set out. Whereas, like, you could sleep in till freaking midday if you wanted to at home school
Yeah.
because there's really no one stopping you.
Yeah, like the last week, I've been so unmotivated to do schoolwork. I probably don't get out of bed until like 10:30. I just lie there, do my. We got this thing. It's called pastoral care. So basically, every morning we go to pastoral care from 9 till 9:15, and they like mark your name off, all that, and then they do like your guidance and your goals for like this year or whatever it is or that
Yeah,
term, and it's just like
yeah.
the most stupid class, but I still have to be there every morning. Otherwise, they like email your parents and everything. It's so stupid.
So we don't even have that. We don't have any form of like roll call or anything like that. For us, it's just you go to your first period, and then 9 times out of 10 you have a meet, but on the odd occasion you don't have a Google Meet that you have to attend, and then the conference call, and then it's like, oh, if I don't have to attend a conference call, I can sleep in for the extra little bit and do the work later on, which always seems to work out well.
Yeah, well, I've been like, I was on top of it all of last term. I was on top of all my work, and I was like, yeah, I should do it. But this past week, I just like it's the last few weeks at home, so I don't know. I'm just making the most of it, I suppose.
Then we get back to. I hope they just don't change anything like with the way the terms are and everything. Like they don't keep us back at the end of the year for an extra
Oh,
week
I
or
know,
whatever to
right?
catch up or something silly like that'll bring us back early next term or like next. Yeah, sorry, next term or next year. Even like it's that will suck because we didn't elect to stay home. We were asked to stay home. So
Well, I
yeah,
think it's more of yeah an issue for you, like year 11 and 12. I'm only in year 10, so I don't think
it's
we're
just
a bit of a problem. But for the people like yeah year 11, 12, because that's like your last 2 years that are really important.
yeah.
So
It'll be interesting to see what like the government does, or not even the government, but NASA does, like with their whole um or how they end up marking all the scores and whatever, especially for year 12. Not so much for us. I think it'll be all right for us, but like with year 12 missing, 6, 7 weeks, and they're always behind, and now they're playing catch up, and that will
yeah.
be that will be interesting to see how they all mark it then and whatever afterwards.
God, that must suck, dude. They must be so stressed. I'm so happy. I'm not dropping out of school, but I'm so happy I don't have to, stress with all that stuff. I'm just doing like all hands on, like electives and stuff, because I'm gonna finish school and just go straight into an apprenticeship.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's some people that like I know there's some kids like that at school, at home, obviously, but like that do all the hands-on subjects. And like you can't really do a lot of metal work at home or woodwork or
Yeah.
whatever at home. It's like they're all just kind of slacking and they get the day off kind of every day for like the last 7 weeks or whatever it's been.
Well, speaking about that though, so for metalwork this term, I'm supposed to be pulling apart a one-cylinder engine, so really easy. Like, because I've pulled apart, the race car engine before, which is the big four-cylinder beast. Um, and yeah, so we're supposed to be pulling apart the one-cylinder engine at school this term, but we can't do it. So they want us to um write an assignment on explaining how like you could pull apart an engine, and I was just like, oh, stuff like I'm bored out of my brain. I'd rather have something to do in the garage. So I emailed my teacher, and so now I got myself a mower from the wreckers and pulling it apart. I'm gonna clean it all up, and hopefully I can get it going, and it'll be the best mower in town.
Best mower in town. All of the town are
Yeah.
gonna hear your mower from a mile away, just cruising down the streets. Just
Well, it's not a ride on,
absolutely
so
no, no. That doesn't mean you can't
mate,
just like push it as fast as you can. Ride your bike behind it. Pull the
dude,
handle things. Most things have the handle things, yeah. The mowers.
maybe I turn the one-cylinder mower engine into and make a new frame and turn it into a ride-on mower. How sick would that be?
Put the Dado engine in it, mate. Get it
Oh
really
my
going.
god, that'd go half decent, wouldn't it?
You don't even need it to like to go fast or like to actually mow lawns. You can just use it just to ride on it, and it can go as fast as you like.
That reminds me of like Bathurst, right? So all those people out there, Bathurst 1000, best time of the year, where we
Motorized
go up the
Eskies
hill.
things.
Yeah, yeah, the motorized eskies, but because I drift trike down the hill, right, down like Bathurst, Mount Panorama,
Yeah, yeah.
and um, the ride down is really fun, but the walk up, it takes half an hour to walk up and probably about 3 minutes to ride down. So I'd love to chuck an engine on a drift trike. God, that'd be sick.
All you need is one person on like not even an engine on a drift track, but someone that can just tow you up the hill and then you're back and done and can go again. You just take it in turns of who's towing and who's riding, and that
Yeah.
that would probably be ideal. That would be the easiest way
One
forward.
time last year actually, so when we were walking up Bathurst. Actually, I was by myself. So my mate went to bed. He was wrecked because we had a big night of drift striking. This was probably at like 1, 2 a.m. right? And there's security still like patrolling the track, and I was like to my mate, "Nah, I'm gonna go for another run," right? And I walk up the hill. Um, I walk up the hill, and there's this security guard, and he's already spoke to me like twice that night saying you can't be riding your drift track down the hill. It's too dangerous. Blah blah blah. And every time I was saying, yeah, I'm just riding back to camp, and I got past him again, and he was like, so you're ignoring me, aren't you? And I was like, what? What are you on about? and he full like started going off at me, and I was like, dude, I'm going back to my camp, and then he like full like was so mad because he just knew I was lying. He started swearing at me like all that going off, and I was just like, don't talk to me like that. And I was saying it to the security guard, and he was like getting all defensive, and then I was like, there's police that came up to me and were like, "Oh, I wish I could have a go." And he's like, "We have more authority than the police." And they're just some people, honestly.
I mean, they just argue that they have to do their job, but like, how many people?
Yeah, but
What's more
I think
dangerous, like a
like
bunch of drunk blokes, like going down the hill or in whatever, or just a bunch of drunk blokes, period, or you riding down, on a bike with brakes and a helmet and everything to, kind of keep you somewhat safe?
to be fair, I did hit 78 kilometers an hour, so I was honking.
Man, that's almost faster than some of those touring car masters that run around there.
Oh god, some of those slow cars.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Up the hill is where you'd struggle. Not as much,
100%.
not as much oomph to get all the way up to the top.
Yeah, exactly.
What did you see the thing in the news about that NRL player that was dodging the flu shot or something? They're like
Yes, dude.
anti-vaxxer, and then like he can't play.
There's
I didn't read into it, but that's just what I saw, and I was like, oh, yeah, right.
There's so many people. Like, actually, there's quite a few of the players that are refusing, yeah, to do the vaccine. And it's like, why? Now,
All these
they've been, like, held
anti-vaxxers.
back to play for, like, a few months, right? And now, when they're almost at the stage of going back to playing, these people are like, oh, I don't want to get vaxxed. And then they're going to hold it back even further again.
It's like, but then I saw something like some of the captains came out and they were like, it's a team sport, which is totally correct, yeah.
Yeah.
And like, some of them are just being so selfish. Like this wife, I think, or girlfriend of one of these players was an anti-vaxxer, and he convinced her not to get a vaccine for the flu. Like the flu, it's not even like it's anything bad. Like the flu shot has been around for years now, and
Oh, yeah.
there hasn't really been any massive repercussions of it, I don't think. Um, yeah, like just for them to sit there and be like, nope, I don't want to do this because I don't have to
Oh.
do this. But like,
And the
if that's
crazy
all you
thing
have to do to
is,
get back to play NRL, it's just one little needle is like, why wouldn't you bother?
oh, 100%. Like, it's going back to doing what you love. And what's the NRL, I saw someone post this, and it's so true. The NRL is, like, every sport is depending on the NRL pretty well. Like, in Australia, um, like, my racing, if NRL goes back, my racing will 100% go back. If NRL goes back at that level, then all the little kids, their sport's going to go back, their training's going to go back. Like, it's they're a big factor in the whole
Yeah,
sport
yeah,
going
for
back thing,
sure.
aren't they?
I think
Yeah.
one thing, like another thing with live sport, the UFC this weekend has, or they're running
Yes.
like three or four events in a week or 9 days or something, which is huge, like for them. And like I was watching some of the videos of like the UFC embedded and all the behind the scenes stuff, and like the amount of effort they are going to like make sure that nothing happens is like
Yeah.
unreal. Like everyone's getting swab tested and this and that, and it honestly looks unreal.
Yeah. What's the go with that? Like, how
Um,
many people are allowed in there? Like, with the person who's fighting? Like, what's
so you're allowed yourself, and I think they only have three or four team members. Um,
yeah?
and there's two rings. Apparently, there's going to be two rings, and each fight will take place in one ring. And then in between, while there's another fight on, they completely sanitize that ring and wash it out completely and cleanse
Oh
it, whatever.
wow.
So they're going like to all these extents and whatever. The judges aren't going to be like right up ringside. They're going to be back in a box each. Like they're all in their own little box, so they're like spread out and whatever.
What, with like telescopes or something?
No, 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 no. Like just like so. Usually the judges is like right up against the cage side of
Yeah.
the thing, but they're going to be back like 5-10 meters or whatever it is, and they're going to be
All
spread out. So there's going to
right.
be 3 or 4 meters probably in between each judge, and they kind of have like
Oh,
these.
okay.
You know how you go to Woolworths and you have those like there's those screens now. I mean, you probably have them at your work with the grocery shop. There's probably those screens with the checkout people.
No, we don't have them.
Oh, well, Woolworths and Coles and all that have these screens that like stop people from like spreading germs and whatever. But I think that's what they're doing kind of for the judges. But like they've already
Yeah,
they had
right.
one, they weren't, so usually apparently UFC fighters, they roll up a week kind of before they fight and they do their like weight cut and they do all their promotion and everything like that. A lot of them
Yeah.
are only arriving 2 days before they fight, or 30 hours, 36 hours before they fight. So a lot of them are like
Oh,
doing their
wow.
weight cut on the plane kind of over here. Um, and yeah, so there's really not a lot of contact. Like none of them are really, even the face-offs, like they're holding a bigger gap than usual. Um, but I know there's already um, been one case of it in like in the event this weekend, and he was meant to fight at middleweight, which is like 185 pounds.
Yeah.
Um, so he said he came in, and before he arrived, he said, "Listen, one of my family members have coronavirus, like they've been tested positive. I haven't had any contact with them, but this is like that's just what he had to say." And then
Yeah.
he arrived. He was good on the first day. Then they tested him the second day again, and then it came back positive on the third day. So now they've
Oh,
had to pull him from the fight and whatever. Um, yeah, like the amount of precaution they're taking to make sure that nothing bad happens is like unreal.
it's good to see though. Like it's, I mean, yeah, like that's how we're gonna have to get back to real life, really. Like we're gonna have to
Oh,
take these big
100%.
precautions. So
But
yeah.
like if that can happen with the UFC, and like they're putting obviously a lot of money into it, and like I think the owner of the UFC, Dana White, he's looking at like he's building this thing that he's calling Fight Island. He literally hired out an island. He's building
Oh, yeah.
he's building the infrastructure like cabins and everything for everyone to stay in and training rooms and everything like this so they can have international fighters fly out from their home country, not have to land in the United States of America and land on the island. Like that. So
Yeah.
they're gonna have a runway strip, everything like that, all this medical stuff and oh, it's gonna be ridiculous. It'll be so cool if they
Isn't
pull it off.
Oh, 100%. Isn't what's the name? Isn't the island like hidden? Like
Yeah, no
I
one knows where
swear
it is. It's
someone
the
told
closed
me, yeah,
location.
no one knows where it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
To put
good. But
Oh yeah,
I
100%. Because then
reckon it
fans
won't
won't
take
try and
long for
jump on a
someone to
boat.
find where it is.
Probably not, but I could imagine that they're going, as I said, to all the precautions necessary. Like that, they aren't just going to let random people come up onto the island and whatever. Like if you have a fishing boat and you pull up, I can imagine they're going to turn you away. And I wouldn't really want to get on an island with a bunch of angry freaking professional fighters that can kill you with their bare
Yeah,
hands. I can't
yeah,
imagine that would be something
exactly.
I want to go mess with. So I think, you know, driving past it might be cool to look at the infrastructure, but I mean that's about it.
Driving past, you reckon?
Sailing, whatever it is, in your boat. Meow.
Okay. Yeah.
Just get it
With a one cylinder engine?
Oh, we could put the Dado engine on there. Really go meow.
Maybe
Really
we
get the
put
whole.
both. We get two engines going.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually an idea. To be fair, two engines to get.
I mean, because the one cylinder engine, it's built for a mower, so it's like spinning like, for the blades. So
Yeah.
you could
Yep.
put
Yeah. Yeah.
like propeller kind of on the back in the water and then just another engine, the Datsun engine, the back
How
as
fast it would be
well.
going. That would be
It
absolutely
would be
fantastic.
fun.
It's yeah.
It'd be
It's
awesome.
that would be something cool, but I can't imagine it's gonna happen. I can't imagine we get all the way to Florida or wherever it is to go see the Fight Island thing that the UFC are doing. Unfortunately,
Yes, yeah. All right. Question for you, Ollie.
go ahead.
What's a funny story or like scary, whatever it is, a story you've got, like something you can tell me?
I can tell I'm not really someone that goes out and does all the dumb things and whatever. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I think you get up to a lot of dumb things with your mates, but other than us around
Oh,
a
what about
fire,
the
we
one
don't
in
really get.
Tamworth?
Oh, that's actually a good one. Yeah, I remember that. I was talking about that the other day. Yeah,
Let's
so me and
remember we got to pretend I was there. I was within range.
you heard it all right. You heard Dad go off as
Yes,
well.
we all did. Anyway,
Oh yeah, so like all night we'd been spraying deodorant into these like we'd been sculling bottles of water. Like we were like, stuff it. We're not wasting the water, so we just scull the water, and we'd like spray. We would be spraying deodorant. I'll see if I can find a video. I might have to try and put it up on the screen. But we were like spraying a whole can of deodorant into these plastic bottles and putting the lid back on, and then throwing them in this fire pit. And they were making this like not a loud bang, but they were going poof like that, and flames would just start going everywhere, and plastic was flying and whatever. And then another Josh actually, we got the dumb idea too. Oh, and Lachlan, my other mate Lachlan, but he and I, we all got the dumb idea to actually put a whole deodorant can in a fire. Mind you, this was like late at night too. Like everyone was asleep, and we were.
And it
And
was at a go-kart race, a
yeah,
state title go-kart race where security is like pretty strict, and you boys are doing this.
well, we just, to be fair, like I was never gonna win. I never had the pace to win, but I was like, top 10, top 5 maybe, and then I was like, oh, stuff it. I don't need to go to sleep early. It's no biggie. Um, and so I didn't. So we stayed up until like 11:30. Anyway, we wander over from the track to like I don't know, 300 meters away, probably 250 meters away, whatever it was. And there were these big piles of horse manure, and we were like, oh, we could get in behind these, and when we light the can, the noise won't go back to the track. But all it did was make the noise echo freaking 10 times louder. It was ridiculous. So we were there. We took our lighter, and we got these little like leaves and things, and we started our own little fire, and then Josh throws the can on the fire, and he's just
Not
standing there
me,
next to
just other. It's another
other
Josh.
Josh, yeah, and he's just standing there next to the fire, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna blow up, and it's gonna hit you if you're not careful. So then he's standing there, he's like, oh, okay, and then he runs over, and like as he turns his back to start running, this can goes boom, and I've never heard a noise so loud in my life. And it was the only one we didn't video because we knew if we were going to get caught, we were going to get in trouble for it, so we didn't video it. Um, but yeah, this can went everywhere. Like we found shrapnel like 30, 40 meters away from this big bomb, like the deodorant
I
can went off.
I was like probably what?
It was probably like maybe
I,
800 meters, a kilometer. Yeah,
ah,
it was a long
okay.
way still.
Anyway, it was yeah that like 800 meters, right? And yeah, this is when I was a wuss. I don't know why I didn't come with you. Anyway, we were sitting by the fire, and we hear this massive bang, and Dad and I go like, Jesus, what was that? And then Dad, I was like to Dad like, oh, it's those boys, they're blowing up deodorant. And then yeah, and then he was like, geez, that was a good one. Like, and that was just the funniest thing when he said that. But yeah,
It was it was the coolest thing you will ever hear. Like it was so loud, but it was so like the way the can just blew up and you saw like the bright red shrapnel flying through the sky and everything, and then we got in trouble and that wasn't as much fun. But it
remember when
was
you got back, and your dad was like, show me the video, and you didn't have it. Like, I wish you
yeah.
filmed it. Hey,
That's what we said. We were like, stuff it. We won't film it because if we're going to get in trouble, we don't want to have the evidence because this one's a bit bigger than usual. Like the other ones were like they were still
yeah.
big. Like they were making a pretty decent bang. Um, but yeah, no, this one just like ridiculous. And then we went to oh, maybe like another race meet a week or two later, and then we were gonna like try and throw different things. And like one of the suggestions was like tin spaghetti, or like Heinz spaghetti, if that makes sense. We're gonna
Yeah.
bunk that in. Apparently, if you drop it in straight, like so it's vertical, the can goes bang and all the spaghetti goes flying through the air. But we didn't get to try it. So it's still something we need to try. But that was go-karting was fun back then when we were all before cars and everyone went their separate ways. Like everyone was just there and we were young and could do that type of stuff and didn't really get up to too much mischief, I don't think.
That was no, but that was also when it wasn't as serious. Like, obviously, there was still a lot of money involved in it then. But you compare it to now, like that's such a big problem nowadays in these type of
Well,
sports.
even then, like
Money is
that was when it
just
was really getting,
ridiculous.
yeah, that was when it was really getting big, like the national scene turned to 5 rounds like a year or two earlier, and everyone was doing this and doing that. But, like I think our field, we still had 30 or something in it, and I think in your field you even
Yeah,
had 30 or something.
yeah.
Um, but then yeah, kind of each year it just dropped off a bit as they went.
Yeah, it's not looking good right now. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Well, it depends also what happens after this. Um, what's it called? Coronavirus and how the sport recovers, if the sport recovers or
That's the
whatever.
thing. Like it's never gonna. Well, go karting might die, but it'll never fully die. Like it'll always be here.
Oh
It
yeah,
it
for
can't
sure.
ever end. So
Well, there's
it
so many
might it
people that
might
are
be really
keen.
quiet now, but it'll have a big comeback and it'll be just as big as it was like what 10 years ago.
100%. And like even like with this four-stroke class, like the numbers are going through the roof at the moment in that. Like, and it's just really a bunch of old blokes that used to race that now can race a class that doesn't hurt as much. Like I'm sore after a weekend in like the open class that we run. Like, and you know, fitish 16-year-old or 17-year-old now, and I still struggle with most tracks after a weekend. You be then you sore and like you just but then four-stroke it's like so easy compared to everything else, and
Yeah,
it's just as much fun.
yeah. No, dude. When we were gonna do this like a four-stroke
Endurance
6 hour
race.
enduro, and we got stopped because of this virus. But God, back then we did not understand how like big this virus was gonna be. Hey.
We were taking the piss out of it pretty hard.
Oh, we were just like, oh, it's literally like a flu. Like, God, it's not that bad. As if they cancelling a go-kart race, and then look at where we
Like,
are now.
yeah, but I think it's hopefully it gets rescheduled. I think it was the last time I spoke to the president of that club, but you know, fingers crossed if we can
Hope
run
so.
that or
I was
whatever.
so keen for that.
Oh, enduros are literally the best fun because it's just such a muck around with the radios on and everything.
Yeah, nah, it's good fun.
I've got a question, like not really a question, but did you see the thing in the news about, uh, excuse me if I'm saying this man's name wrong, but Ahmed Arbery, the like the the jogger, um, the black jogger that was shot and killed by like two civilians just because he was like literally, he was just running, like he wasn't doing anything wrong, he was just going for a run, like 25 years old.
Yeah, no.
So he was shot and killed by a father and son, like just
What the hell?
nothing else to it. And like he was just, yeah, going for a run and boom, two white men just came up to him and yeah, it was terrible. And like this,
Dude,
and then
that's so sad.
and then I think, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think there was another shooting afterwards, like a couple of hours later, that also killed another or a second black man. And then now there's been these not necessarily protests, but more tribute parades to this runner. He
Yeah,
wasn't famous. He wasn't anything. He was just a black civilian of African American descent in America that was shot by two white people, shot and killed. Um, but then yeah, there was these massive like I run with mud. Um, yeah, like festivals almost took the streets everywhere, and everyone's like doing their thing, and yeah, it was just ridiculous. And it was scary almost.
wait, they found the people, right? Though, didn't they?
Yeah, so the father and son,
Good.
they were have faced court on charges of felony murder and aggravated assault. So they weren't
Okay.
police officers, or they weren't, or not that I know of, but I don't think they were police officers or anything like that. But yeah, no, it was just on the, I can't find the date, but yeah, he was shot and killed instantly by two white people.
That's so sad, dude. That's
It
terrible.
happens.
What's something that makes you angry?
Um, a lot
Pulling
of
out the tough
things.
questions tonight.
A lot of things. Photoshop makes me very. No, I don't know. I'm like reasonably pretty good. Like sometimes I get really angry about just things that I shouldn't even get angry about. And then but like some things that people usually would get angry about, like I'm not too bad with. I know I get angry at myself a lot when like I do something like say, I was aiming for a better mark at school or something and I didn't get it. I'd be angry with myself, but I don't necessarily get or like lash out at other people and get angry and whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you get angry at anything in particular?
When you ask about Photoshop.
I had that under control. I was like, yeah, no. under
Nah,
control.
something that does annoy me though. So I've got my L's right, and I can't wait to get my P's, as we've spoke about this. But when I'm driving, I'm in the left-hand lane, like being a good driver. I'm on the speed limit, like I'm doing it right, and just anyone who sees the L plate, they just have to pass you. It's an L plater, like they can't be stuck behind an L plater, and
Yeah.
just they just annoy me because they give you like no room, and then they overtake you at stupid spots. I don't know why. Just that's something that makes me angry, and then. Yeah, I know other little things. I get frustrated pretty easily with some things, but yeah, it is
I
what it
think
is.
everyone gets kind of angry and whatever quite easily, but I don't think that's a
Yeah.
bad thing necessarily.
No,
Um,
not at all.
what's your go-to order at like your favorite? Like, if you had to pick one restaurant in your hometown, what would be your go-to order that you would go for?
Oh, okay. Um, Look, I would say there's this place called Soul Origin. Have you heard of that?
No,
Okay, so yeah, I must be only a thing in the Berra. So, but
the Berada.
the Berra as oh there you go. I just told you guys. Yes, I live in ACT. Um, but probably I'll just go with Macca's. That's something everyone all knows. So
Yeah, but
if I was
that's
to go
not
to
necessarily
Macca's,
your favorite like restaurant, but like if you
oh
had to
you I oh favorite. Okay.
like if you had to think of one place, like if you were dying for a feed and you would go somewhere, like surely you wouldn't go to Macca's of all places.
Oh no, I'd 100% go straight to a pub and get a pub feed.
Like for
I
us,
know
like
that
we have a place
sounds
in
that
Bathurst
sounds so
called
Australian bogan, but 100%
So
just a
Do.
pub feed. Pub just no matter what, pub food is good food, and you can't ever go wrong with a schnitzel.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. But like this hotel like pub place that we have in Bathurst, it's called the George Hotel. Um and it serves this burger, and this burger is like actually unreal. Like it is the best burger you will ever come across. And like if you or actually there's another place it's called the Church Bar which serves wood fire pizza, and they do this pizza called the Mitre
Yeah,
Pizza. Oh, anything like a burger or a pizza to hit the spot is like unreal.
is that like the best feed you've ever got somewhere? Like, is that where you get your best feed?
Okay, best food I've ever had. I travel a lot with my family.
Yeah,
We went to Singapore in 20. I've been there
yeah,
twice, but I would say the second time I went was like 2017, 2018. Um, and we went to this place in like Chinatown in Singapore, and and I had everyone got like the rest of them got like chicken and rice, like the usual Asian dish. And I saw this thing on the menu, and it was like chicken feet, and I was like, oh, let's do it. Let's get chicken feet. I want chicken feet. And this guy comes
yeah.
out that runs the restaurant, and he's like doesn't speak any English. He starts waving in his mouth. He goes, hot, hot, very hot. And I was like, oh no, that's fine. Don't worry
Really?
about it. Yeah, yeah. I thought he meant
Yeah.
like as in like I don't know what I thought he meant. He was like I thought he meant temperature hot or whatever. He brings these chicken feet out, and these things are freaking doused in hot sauce. And I'm like, I bite into it. And
Oh,
I'm like, oh shit. And my mum is really, really good with hot foods. And even she took a bite and she was like, whoa, that's hot. And then, but that was honestly, it was the tastiest food like chicken feet. Who wants to eat chicken feet? But like, this was just unreal. Chicken feet,
we
spicy feet in Singapore.
That's yeah. I'll have to maybe when we can actually leave the country, we'll head over to Singapore and give it a go, eh?
Go for the Grand Prix, stay for the chicken feet.
Oh, I'm down for that, 100%. Anyway, okay, so we went to America. What? It was probably about 5, 6 years ago now,
Yep.
and I don't really. It was a very very good trip, but I don't. Some of the places we went, I can't remember much about, but I just remember one night we all got in big trouble. It wasn't so much me because I didn't do it, but we they ordered takeaway, like sorry, room service. That's the word, room service, right? Because the parents were down in the casino,
Yep.
and turns out the takeaway somehow ended up like over $100, right? And it was on the parents' card, so they were gonna find out.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. There was like two people like with big trolleys with the food, all that. And my mate had spicy chicken wings, and he's like, "Oh, they're gonna be so good." Because that's it. We had this thing going over there. I don't know if you ever remember it, but it's like stir fry, right? Chicken mustard, like that song.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it ends with like chicken wing. And anyway, we were just like all obsessed with the chicken wing song. So you got spicy chicken wings, and he took one bite, and I remember like he was just like screaming, like it was like oh, like so hot. And then the parents came up, and they just saw like what we had done, and it was so funny.
Yeah, funny until you got in trouble, and then it was like,
Yeah.
uh, that's probably
Oh,
not that good.
actually, yeah. It didn't go down well with the parents when they saw the bill.
Yeah, that was probably the part that was like, rip.
It
That
was
probably
good
wasn't
because I got food and I didn't pay for it, but my sister paid for a bit of it and she got in big trouble. So it was a win-win for me.
right. Um, did you see Elon Elon Musk had a baby and named it like that weird name? I don't know how to.
No,
So it's like
hang
it's
on,
like
let me search it up.
it's like X space AE, like as in one letter, space
Here you
A.
go, Elon Musk baby name. Wait, what?
How do you even
So it's
pronounce
X,
that?
then a weird A or E, and then
AE.
an A
Yeah,
dash 12.
12. Yeah. What does that even mean?
Dude, how? So how's your kid gonna learn its name,
I don't know.
bro?
Like, how do you pronounce
That's
that?
Dude, that's weird. That's
I
like
just,
who else has weird celebrity names? The Kardashians. Um, is it the Kardashians?
I don't think so, because they're just Courtney, Chloe,
Wait,
Kylie, Kendall,
Kim
Kim.
Kardashian baby
I don't think it's
names.
them.
I'm sure it's her.
Oh, it's in like Northwest and East or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Northwest, Psalm West,
yeah,
Chicago West, Saint
yeah,
West. Like,
yeah.
why?
Yeah, no, that's yeah, well, they would never have to work a day in their life, so who cares?
Oh my God, it's unfair. That's why all you guys should blow up the podcast so we don't have to work anymore. We can just sit here and talk.
If that is interesting enough, which I find it pretty interesting. I could listen to myself talk all day.
Make sure, yeah, if you've ever got a question for us or like a topic you want our opinion on, make sure to send it through to our Instagram. It's on the screen up the top, or to our personal ones, whatever. But yeah, be sure to ask us.
Do Mike Tyson. Everyone knows Mike Tyson, yeah?
Yeah,
You know Mike
obviously.
Tyson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did you see that video of him hitting pads the other day?
No?
This man is 53 years old and he hits like a freaking tank, bro. He was like, no word of a lie, he just went in and destroyed these pads. Like, and he's fit too. Like, he's lost like probably 30 pounds in the last couple of weeks. And now he's like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm in good shape. I can get back and I can, do celebrity appearances and boxing and whatever. He's 53 years old and he would single-handedly knock out any one of the professional boxers, like whether it's Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, any one of those blokes, he would single-handedly have their number, I reckon. He hits
Yeah.
pads so hard. Like,
Uh,
oh,
um, moving on to like to some like older people coming back, like to sport. Marcus Ambrose, did you see him like do the Supercars A
oh,
series
the
the
E
other night?
series. Yeah, I saw that in the
Yeah,
Pertex
so
video.
so after he's done the E series race, he's actually announced like he wants to come back to motorsport at age. How old is he? Let me Google that as well.
20,
Google's providing the goods
26,
tonight.
26.
Marcus, I think
Is it
he's
early
43.
40s? I think he's early 40s, yeah.
Yes, he's 43.
Yeah.
And he wants to come back to racing. Like how good's that? That'd be pretty
So
cool to see.
my only question is, did he actually want to come back? Like he said he wants to get involved in motor racing again. I thought he was just looking into buying into a team or starting a team of some sort. I didn't think he was coming back to actually racing.
Oh well, I'm not sure, but I think he actually wants to start. No, I'm pretty sure he wants to start driving. Like not at a full professional level like supercars, but I don't know. I reckon not many people out like that are listening would know about this, but you would, Ollie. There's this the series TA2.
Yeah. Yeah, the muscle cars.
It wouldn't. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me actually if he went to that.
I think he'd do something that's popular, but like I don't think he'd really like something that has money in it for him, I guess.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. It's like it's an upcoming series, and really, he's raced NASCARs in America. These muscle
He's done
cars, an
well.
American car, like I don't know. It
Yeah,
could.
he's
Guess
yeah.
we'll
I
find
see
out.
I read it as like he's just, you know, just doing his thing. Like I thought he was gonna maybe buy back into the team and help with driver coaching and things like I didn't realize he was actually interested in getting back into it.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he wants to get back into the actual driving side of things.
On the topic of motor racing, Alabama Matt Campbell, did you see they were dropped from the 20, by Porsche for the 24 hours of Le Mans?
No?
Both of them were dropped. They culled that whole car.
Are you serious?
Dead set.
That
Dropped
was
them.
that car was better than the other team car.
Yep. Yep. They dropped the
Are
best
you
drivers
kidding?
and went and just absolutely got rid of him. Like
Bro,
I don't
that's
know.
so
And
sad.
there's the four other drivers, and to be quite honest, I don't really know who they are. Um,
Neither.
but like, damn, that's got to suck. But I wonder if it has anything to do with the travel restrictions as well.
Wait, they have they're still a part of like they're still Porsche factory drivers though, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah. They cut that car from the 24 hours,
Yeah, okay. Right.
which is a bit. But that's what I mean. Like
Sucks.
that could just be, um, that could just be because it might be too hard for them to actually get across here.
Yeah, yeah, true. Well,
There was
hang on, but I doubt the 24-hour will go ahead.
It's been postponed until September or October or something like that. I think
I
it.
I doubt international travel with the way we're going. Like, I don't reckon we'll be back to international travel till next year.
A lot of the drivers are European based, but so
Yeah,
for
true.
them it's not going to be as hard. However, if it was for Earl and Matt getting back across, well, I mean, international travel has to open up again in a sense. If F1's going to be back in June, how's Daniel Ricciardo going to get back across and race in Austria?
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean,
No,
actually, have you seen his Instagram stories with Scotty James and Marcus Stoinis?
bro, they're funny as their challenges that they do.
Freaking Stoin, he just one day, like, who wakes up and thinks I'm gonna skull 5 raw eggs today, and
Dude, that was
honest
disgusting.
nails it too. The big Greek freak, just absolutely
Daniel didn't do it though.
chows. No, but Scotty did. Scotty did two or three, I think. Um,
Yeah.
who the hell just sits there and chows down on freaking raw eggs. It started off with a
Uh,
kicking contest, like kicking a ball,
yeah.
getting it through a door, to raw eggs, to great classic catches and putting on a shirt, doing a handstand, and all of this stuff. That was quality entertainment.
Yeah, no, that was very, very funny. Is it still going?
I haven't seen any in the last. I mean, I'll check now, but I haven't really seen any in the last couple of days that have really said anything about them doing it. But like, I don't know. I'll check when the last one was uploaded if it loads. Oh, there's so
Maybe
many
they're
that
just
haven't uploaded.
recovering.
Well, I think they were doing it for the quarantine period, and now they've kind of like I haven't seen it for probably 2 weeks. When was the last
Okay,
one?
okay. There's so many YouTubers as well, like out there, like that. I completely get why they can't provide content, but it sucks because like some people that
Yeah,
are like David Dobrik, he's posted one video like in the past month and a half.
yeah. So
Like,
there's been
yeah,
last one for Daniel Ricciardo, and that was uploaded 3 weeks ago.
yeah,
So they
okay,
must have stopped for some reason. But I must admit,
yeah,
Scotty James is like actually a unit. Like him watching him snowboard at the Winter Games in 2018, maybe when the last ones were.
Yeah.
Um, I think they're in North or South Korea, maybe. Um, he nailed it. Like I don't think he was gold. I think he was silver. Um, but watching him just freestyle on that board was actually the coolest thing ever. And he was just so good. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, I live like an hour from the snow and I still, oh, hour and a half, still haven't gone.
I want to go so bad. Snowboarding is just like seems like one of those things, but it's so expensive as well. Like
Yeah,
to hire the like ski lift and pass and everything like that, it's like it all adds up pretty quick. Like it's not even like the motels and stuff are the most expensive part. Like to
yeah,
stay a week there is like 3 or 4 grand. It's like that's a big hit.
yeah, when you're cold too.
Yeah, well, I mean the cabins I think are pretty warm. They have like 20,000 fireplaces and some heaters and
You'd
Lord
hope,
knows
yeah.
what else to keep you warm. But yeah,
All right, well, I think that sums up episode 2. Jesus, we've been going for 47 minutes.
it doesn't even feel like it's been that long though. Like honestly, this one felt like it was shorter than the other one, but it's
100%.
more time still.
Hopefully it was a bit better than the last one. Hopefully my mic quality is a bit better. We're getting new mics soon, just so you know, guys. So we should be prime. Like the audio quality will be really good. So yeah, it's something to look forward to.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
Yes.
crossed. Anyway, thanks.
Awesome. All
Thanks
right.
for
Well, thanks
tuning
for
in,
tuning in,
lads and ladettes.
and we will see you next Sunday.
Thanks, guys.